Hello everyone, this is Lisa with Grace and Old Paper. I'm here today with a flip through of my Christmas journal that I've made my daughter for this year, 2025. I've uploaded a few videos kind of showing the basics of how I've put it together and how I've made it. And I got right down to the last and it came time to kind of fluff it out and decorate it, and I just went with it off camera. And didn't film it at all. I just kind of got in the groove late one night and went with it. So here today I'm going to do a flip through and show you what it is. For those of you who have not followed along with this, this is a journal I have made for my daughter. I make one for her every year. And this year we both decided to make it out of this fabric, which was a vintage apron. And I don't know if you can see, but it's got some faint discoloration. There are some stains here or there. There's more discoloration, more stains. But my daughter and I both loved it because it kind of tells a story, you know, that this apron was used and loved and used to cook things for whoever. So we just loved it. Plus the pattern's just really pretty. I have made this out of a Cheez-It box. My husband loves Cheez-It grooves, and so I snatched the box after he was done, and that's what I made this out of. Not the family size, because those boxes are way bigger. This is just the regular size. It does have 6 signatures that I have sewn in with embroidery thread. It measures approximately 6 1/4 this way by 8 3/8 this way, and the spine I wrote down 2 7/16, which is, you know, really specific, but there you go. There are 120 total pages, meaning there are 5 folios per signature. So that's all the technical things. I have made this spine dangle for it out of, and I'm going to go ahead and remove it. It is removable, and it is just made out of repurposed things for the most part. I don't know if there's any. I bought this a year or two ago because I just love this stuff. But a lot of this I have gotten from thrifting, given to me, or, you know, yard sales, repurposed jewelry. I did buy these charms at Hobby Lobby, I think last year. There's a few of those in here. Little church. There's a, well, they're hard to find in here. Oh, there's a snowman. I mean, a Santa. And then I have some bells and things. Give it a good jingle when it's loose. So I'm going to set that aside. I also included on here this little, whatever this was. I think I got this at Walmart a couple of years ago, and I have just adhered it onto here. If you can see, there is lots of things sticking out of the edges, which I personally just love because it just adds interest to the outside of the book and kind of makes you want to look in and see what is all of this sticking out. All of the sewing, I have left threads. My daughter can cut them if she wants. She can leave them if she wants. Or even some sticking out the back. It does have a ribbon bookmark, and we'll show that in a few minutes. I also, this year, instead of doing ruffles or lace edges on the pages, I have done fabric tabs, which I personally love too. Also did a ribbon closure for it this year, which is not something I've done generally for hers, but she really tends to use her journals to their full extent, and a lot of times they end up a bit gator mouth. So I thought maybe this way would help hold it closed. We do have a live and learn moment with this one though, and I didn't discover this till after I had already put this journal together, so it's too late. This ribbon which I was really excited about it because I like the sheerness of it. I like the flopsiness. But this ribbon in particular, when you use it and you tie it, it does this. It does this crinkly thing and misshapes it, which I am not happy about, but you know, for the most part it'll be tied, so it's okay. If she decides to later on, she can always cut it out and just wrap some ribbon around it. That's not a problem either. All right, we're going to take a look inside. Now keep in mind, this is for my daughter, so it's not for sale. This is a personal made one. It is fabric covered on the inside as well. I didn't overly embellish the front page because I know she will. She's very artistic, and I know she will. And this little card just pops out. I put this in there as a temporary placement for her, and she can put a picture of her family in there if she wishes. This fabric that covers this little frame is the fabric from the apron. So I just covered it and added a couple of little bling for embellishment. Has some little mini pom-pom trim that I have adhered on here, and one of the fabric tags. Did a fussy cut from a children's book that I personally just love. She does too. She loves this. We both do this old-fashioned artwork. It's just really pretty, and that is from a piece of scrapbook paper. It has a combination of papers in here, one of which is this stationery, and I tea-dyed it. This is another of the children's books that we just love the artwork in. I only have a couple pages of this left, so she doesn't get too many more. This is We Sing children's music. We both absolutely love the We Sing books, and there are so many different We Sing books, and I was lucky enough to find a couple of Christmas ones, so I always like putting that in her books. There's a piece of this stuff. It actually you can unwind it, and it'll have a single strand in there. And I just kind of wove it through the holes, and this was like a sketchbook page. Another fabric tab, and it has a snowman on there. This was actually, it was sticky. It was like a sticker, but it's lace, so it sticks. But I also glued it because where I got it from was an estate sale, and it had been there a while, so the glue wasn't the best. So it is glued on there. On the back of the first signature, I did a paper pocket, and I put this ribbon on there, and it is loose. So I made this little thing, and it actually, you slide it, but you can also take it off and reverse it if you'd rather. And these came from a big piece of scrapbook paper I had, and they're all like little puns, jokes. It says, why are Christmas trees bad at sewing? They always drop their needles. And this side, why does Santa enter through the chimney? Because it suits him. So that just slides on there. This is a tag I made. Actually, it's just a journal card I made from the front of a Christmas card. This fabric tag is also what's on the lining. This, I learned to make this from watching another YouTuber, and if I try to remember, I'll try to remember to stick the link down below how to make it. But it's made out of a junk mail envelope. And I just had so much fun with it, using a lot of my little ephemera pieces and scraps and stuff. And then I just put, since it's a pocket, I just put one of these. I think that's a Project Life card that's in there. That I always have a little bit of difficulty getting back in. And I don't know why, because there's nothing down there catching it. So I'm not really sure. I will investigate that before I give it to my daughter. And I like the way the little chimney on it sticks out. This is Rick Rack from the original apron. And I just took all the stitching out and then just put it on here. On the back, this is a vintage film envelope. I think your negatives used to come in this, and you could reorder. behind it, I made it a tuck spot, and behind it is this, and inside is this. This was wrapping paper she had a couple years ago, and I had kept a small piece of it, just thinking I might could journal with it. Well, I made journal cards out of them. And I thought that since she has 2 little boys, one could color each one, and that way she'd have that little bit of their artwork in her journal. She was really excited about that. This is a Christmas Ideals page. I think it was, yeah. This is one of those money cards, but I loved the artwork on it. And this is another one of those little jokes. What did the gingerbread man put on his bed? A cookie sheet. This is some kind of, I'm not sure what language that is. It's some kind of Asian little children's book. It was a Christmas book. Both of us love that. This is a field book page, and I have joined it together backwards with washi tape that is glued so it's really good and sturdy, and then put ribbon and rickrack in the holes of it. This is the rest of the money card, and because there was writing on there, I just covered it up with a little piece of this mousy artwork, which is also here, but just because he's cute. And then another one of these joke things. What is an elf's favorite kind of music to skate to? Rap. This is just a Christmas gift tag, but I love, love, love that Santa. He just looks so jolly. To cover up the barcode and stuff on the back of the card, I just put this little journal card thing. I had fun with this page because this basket has Christmas cards and stuff in it. I made these faux envelopes, and I put this little stamp on there which says Boys Town, which I think is great because she has boys. Oh, too, I wanted to point out the cute little, and I can't remember where I got the paper clip, with a little star paper clip, but isn't that cute? You know, you end up with stuff in our stash that we don't even remember where we get it from. This is a piece of paper trim. Oh, and I forgot to say, on this particular scrapbook paper, I tea-dyed it to get it away from the stark white, and you can see it left that impression there for some reason. I made this for the first time this year. I've never made one of these before, but I kind of thought it'd be fun to include in here, and it's a shaker card. I saw somebody online had one of these, and I thought, well, I'm going to try to make that. This little card just slips in and out. It wasn't too hard to make. I had, you know, the photo albums that just flip through. They're all like 4x6 or something like that. I just took one of those and sewed it on here and filled it up with all these little things. It made a journal card and put it on scrapbook paper. I loved it. And this bookmark, you can bookmark, paper clip. I went to Hobby Lobby the other day and caught some of their clearance sales, and I got, these were buttons actually, but I glued it onto this paper clip. Making sure you can see that okay. Yeah. I just thought it was cute. This page, I think I've talked about it in another video. This, first of all, is a belly band made out of gift wrap ribbon, and it was wired, but I took the wire out, and I have adhered it onto some lightweight paper, and then it is glued on here really well because it gives a little more stability when you put some paper behind it. But this thing, I had such high hopes for. This came from a fabric stocking I bought a while back at a thrift store for like $1 or $2. And I just love the vintage look of it, and the colors and everything looked really good with this. My thought was I was going to stitch it to this tea-dyed coloring book page because she loves gingerbread houses and the Christmas villages and stuff, and I knew she'd want to color on it. My thought was to make this a floating pocket, have it to where you could put things in it. Silly me was sitting there watching YouTube videos when I made this, and I glued the whole thing together. I glued it all together. And then thought about it as I was sewing, and I was like, wait a minute. So now it's just a thing. But if she wants to, if she doesn't want to just use it for decoration, number one, she can pull it out and throw it away. But number two, she could also use some like Fabri-Tac or something and glue some more, I don't know, journal paper or photos or something to it if she wants to. I'm going to leave that up to her. She's creative. I know she'll do something. It's a children's book page. This is another of the coloring book pages, and I did this one because she loves nutcrackers. Just loves them. And I did sew it and turn it into a pocket. And I just included her a couple of little cards in here. This one, what do you get when you use deer-shaped cookie cutter? Cookie dough. And this is a journal card she made for me a year or two ago, I think, to include in some of her journals. And it's just so pretty. I love it. Mrs. Claus's homemade pies and jams, fresh pastries, tarts, cobblers and cakes, gingerbread cookie class and bake sale, December 24, $5. I love that. So I've just made that little journal card for her. This was a thing that came out in the newspaper, December 5, 1979. And I've had a copy of it for a while, and every year I usually include it in her journal. I just photocopy it onto some tea-dyed paper so it has that good look, authentic look to it. And the back is kind of a diamond grid paper. It's just really fun for her to play with. This is Dot. I don't know if you can see that. It's the Dot journal page. And I put some paper trim on it, rounded the edges. And this is washi tape, really glittery. I don't know if you can tell that, but it's really glittery. This is the other side of the pocket, and this is just the front of a Christmas card that I turned into a journal card. This is a paper trim again. I had a piece of scrapbook paper that just had multi-paper trims on it, and they were all fantastic. This is a fabric pocket. You know, I don't even remember where I got this fabric or what I got it for, but because she loves the houses and things, I thought I'd include it. And we both love these things that come out of the old magazines, the old subscription cards. And this is an old Ideals magazine one. I don't think it has any kind of year on it. But I just love that, and I put that in there for her. This is, I saw somebody online do this, and I would show you the video, but she didn't have a tutorial on it. She just showed that she made some of this, what she called quilted paper. And so, oh, and here's my bookmark. It is adhered in there. So anyway, I took some tracing paper, and I kind of glued down some paper in pieces, and then I just stitched around it everywhere with different stitches. And because I used the black threads, it showed through the back. Yeah, pretty dark. So I backed it with some of this Christmas cardstock. So it's a little bit thicker, but my daughter loves it, so we're going with it. And I put this little candy cane on there. And silly me wasn't paying attention when I did my tabs, and I got one on each side, but she doesn't care, so it's okay. Got Mickey's Christmas Carol. And this is some Christmas music that I have stitched on some scrapbook paper and made a pocket. And this is another one of her journal cards. It's just so cute. And then this is another one of my original things I keep every year and make a copy onto some tea-dyed paper. And I don't know, we ended up with this in a box of recipes somewhere, and it's just some things, a couple little Christmas stories. I just love it. And I just tucked that in there for her. I have scrapbook paper with some washi tape. This is cross-stitch paper, and me and her both love this spread right here. She said she may not do anything with it other than just color some of it. So that'll be fun for her to play with. Some more washi tape. on this side. This is, I was at the thrift store one day and found an old notebook, a leather notebook, and it had a whole bunch of these pages in it. It's like party planning stuff, like you list your guests and your food, and you just got your checklist down there. It's just so cool. I thought it'd be something fun for her to play with. And then again, this is one of her cards she did. This is a fussy cut from a children's book and some paper trim. That is just a gift tag, and I thought they were really cute. This is some sewing trim. I think I got it from Walmart, and then I put, which is not quite right, ball pen with a couple of beads on there. On the back, I have sewed top and bottom. This is vellum. And, you know, a lot of times I like to use vellum as a page, but because this had the writing on it, the other side of it was all backwards. So I sewed on here, and she can use it as a pocket. She can stick some colored paper in it to make it really stand out and look different, or she can just leave it that way, whichever way she wants to do it. She had picked this paper out a long time ago because she loves the gingham. I don't blame her, it's cute. I love this little craft thing with the little toy soldier, or whatever you want to call him. He's cute. This is the front of a Christmas card, and I have joined it with something I'll show you in just a minute. That's not a Christmas card because I only had the front of this. The other half had too much writing on it. This is stationery. So it's really pretty. You can see here how I've sewn the signatures in. It is a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. This is the other half of the card. It's just one of those things that comes in a magazine. And I like to give her a challenge every so often in her journals to see what she does with them, and she always does pretty well with them. So she'll have fun with that. I know she'll turn it into something cool. I believe that came out of Ideals magazine. I could be wrong. This is the top of that fabric stocking that I had gotten. And I even left its little bling on there just because it was so cute. And who can resist him? That's found it in a old magazine that was falling apart, or book or something. I can't remember, but it's Norman Rockwell, and I have just put it on the front of this card that she can use. And then I also have included this little thing of toy soldiers. Turned it into a little journal card. And this, I have an old Simplicity pattern book that I had gotten on clearance, I think at Hobby Lobby a few years ago. And I looked in it, and it had this vintage apron pattern. And this is what the old apron looked like. Not this fabric, but this is the style, except it had like a pocket right here. But it was this style apron. So I thought this would be fun to give her in here as a little nod to the apron cover. And I just turned it into a journal card, and the fabric is actually from the original apron. And it just clips right on there. And this page on the back of this paper, I made a little additional fold out. Just some tea-dyed scrapbook paper, and I have glued it on there really well. This is some small ledger paper. This is a Christmas card. Again, one of those cute little paper clips. And on the back, I have made this tag, another one of these tea-dyed little houses, and I sewed on the back. This is a piece of the original apron, and I just included her some little fun things to play with in her journal. A piece of scrapbook paper, again that gingham, because she loves it. Got the ribbon edge, and I've got the ribbon poking out the top. You can see that. So just tea-dyed paper. This is the other half of this, and I glued on additional paper to make a pocket, and also this little strip so that you can see the difference there. And in the pocket I have this cute little card. And then on the back, I stuck this little image that came from a children's book. I think it was the one that the Santa was at the front by the fireplace. I think it was the same one. And then inside, I just put this journal card. It was actually like a Christmas notepad or something. I stuck that in there because there was a lot of writing on this card. And he just sits right in here. And what I love is that the little mouse sits right there in that little dip. Isn't that cute? And then on the back here, this is, I think from that same book. It could be, I could be wrong. I think it was The Night Before Christmas. I think that's what that, it was a little golden book. And mine was in terrible shape. It didn't have a cover. It was just terrible. So I didn't feel bad about using the pieces out of it. Somebody had even scribbled on here. But I just love this artwork. I think it's gorgeous. And I did turn it into a pocket on the side with another piece of this. I think it's another Norman Rockwell. Just got it on a vintage index card, and it just slips right in there. That little bit of ribbon there to hold it. And that is the last page. On the back, we have the pocket from the apron. I made her a journal board. It's got Christmas music and this little Christmas article, so that if you're writing on something like this, where it's got the other pages behind it, you can put your journal board right here, and then you can write, so that it gives you a solid surface and it won't make holes in your paper when you write. So I'm going to give her that. But on the back, this is the pocket from the apron, the original pocket, and I have stitched it on here. And inside, I have this little, this is again in front of a Christmas card, and I cut the edges down so that it fits in this pocket. But it's a little Christmas prayer. And that just slips in there. And then I'm just giving her this because she saw it the other day when we were FaceTiming each other. And I said, you could always put this on a paper, and then it opens. I'm going to go ahead and open it up so you can see. It's actually a gift card holder, but you can have it to where it opens up and have additional journal space, which that's just really cute. Really cute. I'll put that back in a minute. So this is my daughter's Christmas journal for 2025. I hope y'all have enjoyed watching me make it, and I hope you like it. If you do, give it a little bit of a thumbs up if you don't mind. It does help my channel. Not that I craft very often, but you know, when I do and I share, it's nice for it to be seen. Anyway, may God bless you and keep you safe.